My reaction video the other day to Charles Oliveira sounding off on Islam Makhachev got a ton of feedback, as you would expect. My name is James Lynch. In today's video, I'm going to do something a bit different here and actually respond to some of the comments in video form. But before I do that, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm posting content on here almost daily, so you don't want to miss any content. You do those three things, it'll help me out big time. If you haven't seen the video, I basically tried to tie the fact that Charles Oliveira was calling Islam Makhachev's team arrogant and kind of talking about how that's true and how that has led to some fans basically implying that this is going to be an easy fight for Islam, that Charles is afraid to fight Islam, and I think it's come from Islam's team, his manager, etc. I didn't say anything bad about Islam. I just said that I think that's the narrative going into this fight. I will tell you guys, I have not read the comments yet on this video. I know they're going to be brutal. I know how passionate Islam Makhachev fans are, so I'm not going into this without a nice pick-me-up here. I got a kokanee. I'm going to have this drink here quickly, and then we're going to get into the comments. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into some of the comments now. I'm not going to read through all of them. There's 525 comments. I don't have time to do that, but we'll highlight some of the ones that I disagree with and maybe give some clarification to the people that left these comments. We're going to start with Yusuf. He says, having more submissions doesn't mean he has a better ground game. How else do you measure someone's ground game unless you're seeing the proof in the pudding here? Oliveira's got 21 wins by submission. Do you think someone with a bad ground game is getting that? Absolutely not. He's got one of the best ground games in the lightweight division. I don't know why people are not giving him credit for that. It's just insane. Here's another one. Looking at decisions and finishes doesn't mean much. How are we measuring a fighter's success unless we look at their stats? Like, you can't just say, oh, well, in this situation, they would do this. We have actual evidence of a fighter doing things in the octagon. If that's not evidence, I don't know what is. If you're going to ignore that, then I can't really take your opinion very seriously. I can clearly say that Charles has lost the fight before it has begun. Based off what? A video? Like, you think he's already lost this fight? Come on. He's just upset of what's going on sort of leading into the fight. There's another guy talking about Davey Ramos's resume. None of that matters in MMA. He can have all these accolades, but it's irrelevant if he's not doing it in the cage. Oliveira has 21 submission wins. You can't take that away from him. Islam Makhachev never disrespected Charles Oliveira. Didn't say he did. Guy didn't watch the video. I said Islam Makhachev's team and the fans have created this narrative going into the fight that it's going to be an easy fight. Again, people aren't watching the video. If anything, Charles seems shook. It's like no one is allowed to talk up Islam. No, that's not what he's saying. It's that the fact that people are saying that it's going to be an easy fight for him. That's what I'm getting at here, is that people have to realize that it's not going to be a walk in the park for Islam. You can't just say that. It's not like he's fighting Paddy Pimblett. I mentioned that in comparison in the last video, but it's true. You would think by the way people are talking about Islam Makhachev is that Charles Oliveira is going to be an easy night. It's not going to be an easy night for him. He can win. I'm not denying that. He can absolutely win this fight, but this idea that Charles is somehow a bad fighter, I don't get it. Here's another one. Oliveira did an interview 2 days ago saying he did not want to fight Islam and not want to fight in Abu Dhabi. The Abu Dhabi part, I agree with you. He was the former champion. He should be able to pick where he wants to go. But let's say, just for argument's sake, they did want to put it in Abu Dhabi. That's it. He did not want to fight Islam. Who did he want to fight? I know there was talks about Conor McGregor, but that was more of a money thing. People are using that to say that he's afraid to fight Islam, which is just not true at all. If you could get paid more and we're going to give you easier work, would you not take that? That doesn't mean he's afraid of Islam Makhachev. This is what I'm talking about. This is a made-up narrative that Charles Oliveira is afraid to fight Islam, and you can see the mental gymnastics that are going on here. Let me say what James Lynch will not say here. Oliveira's 11-fight win streak is against 10 American fighters and 1 Swedish fighter, who are all ranked, who are all top fighters. Again, they're trying to nitpick at the resume here with Oliveira and say that he hasn't fought good competition. That's just insane to me. He's fought the best of the best at lightweight right now. There's a few up-and-comers that are coming through the wings right now, but they weren't even deserving of a shot at this point. Kind of like Islam. Like people saying Charles has been avoiding Islam forever. Well, there's a pecking order. You have to win certain fights to get to that level. Islam's finally done that. Some people say he hasn't. Again, I've said I think he does deserve the shot, but this idea that Oliveira has fought nothing but cans is just ridiculous. Again, here's another guy. I've been following you since 2018. You are too never late to disappoint. You were against Khabib. You're now against Islam. I've never actually picked against Khabib. I've never picked against Islam either. And you sound bitter. No, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy in the comments here. Fan base here prides himself on being humble, am I right? That's their whole thing. And here they are coming out here and saying that it's going to be an easy night. And it's fine to be confident in your guy, but to say that it's going to be an easy fight is very disrespectful to Oliveira and the credentials he's already had in the UFC, from being champion to beating guys like Gaethje and Chandler and Poirier. You can't take those away from him. Those are solid wins. And to say that I'm bitter, I'm not bitter at all. I'm laughing at this because I think it's ridiculous. Here's another ridiculous comment here. It seems like you are hurt more than Oliveira Oliveira. It's all right, he's your guy, but Islam is really going to make it easy against Oliveira. Again, missed the entire point of the video. I'm just saying that Oliveira deserves more respect going into this fight, and when you're writing stuff like it's going to be an easy night for Islam, you're losing the case here. James, I think he's feeling the heat. Islam is the most humble and respectful person. Again, didn't watch the video. I didn't say a single bad thing about Islam. I talked about the fans and the team around Islam. He says, guys worried about what Ali is saying on Twitter. I don't care. I can't interview his fighters. I can say whatever I want about that guy. He can't even get into Canada, so we can ignore that. And we got all these psychologists here. Oliveira acted uncharacteristically defensive lady, a sign of nerves. We got a bunch of psychologists here who know what's going on here. Come on. It's just a matter of being realistic. Oliveira is definitely an elite fighter, but you have to analyze the situation. Islam is someone who trained just like Habib all his life and just as tough and as good as Habib with his wrestling and grappling. That's great. He has not proven it against a top opponent. I don't know why everyone is ignoring this. Again, I think Islam deserves the title shot. His winning streak is impressive. I want to see how good Islam is in this fight. And like I said, I think he can win the matchup. But this idea that, because he trained with Habib, that he's going to beat Charles, you just can't base things off that. That's like saying like Artem Lobov is going to beat half the featherweight roster because he trains with McGregor. It just doesn't work like that. James, I think you're slightly off. He never once mentioned Islam. Again, didn't watch the video. I didn't talk about Islam. I talked about his team and the fans going into this fight. I think this is more directed toward Ali, the manager, who is saying that Oliveira will be beaten by both Islam and Beneil. That is true. And that's what I was trying to get across in this video was that, and I didn't mention the manager's name there, but you kind of get what I'm saying here. He created this narrative and the fans have run with it now that this is going to be an easy night for Oliveira. Again, or easy night for Islam, I should say. That's just not the case. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think the odds are fair. I don't have an issue with Oliveira being the underdog, but I do have an issue with people saying that it's going to be a quick night and disrespecting the accolades of Oliveira. Here's one from Gerald. All the examples you've given of fans talking smack about Oliveira, not Islam or his team. I specifically said not Islam, and I said his team. But here's the thing. His team, his manager, all these people have put out this narrative, and the fans have run with it. So that's why Oliveira's pissed off. That's what I was trying to say in the video, is that his team has created this narrative that Islam can beat everyone, and there's nothing wrong with being confident in your guy, like I said. But my issue is the people saying that he's going to walk right through Oliveira, ignoring the accomplishments that Oliveira's had. That's it. You said you don't think Islam is arrogant or going after Oliveira. Islam in his interview with Okamoto, he's not professional. That's why he took the belt. He's just running away from me. That's his manager talking. I don't really think Islam thinks that. I think Islam, deep down, if you asked him about Charles Oliveira, he'd have a lot of respect for him. Again, I'm not going after him. I actually like Islam a lot. I think the people around him are creating this kind of silly narrative that he's unbeatable. And he's lost before. That's the other thing. Like, no one brings up the fact that Islam's lost a fight. So if you're going to talk about this guy being unbeatable, go look at the Adriano Martins fight. Come on. This fight will be canceled. Islam will be removed and Dariush will come out to replace him. Roided and everything he can in Abu Dhabi. Typical move from Ali. Again, this is the type of crazy nonsense that gets made up from fans that just, there's no evidence of this whatsoever. It's just nuts. Okay, anyways, that's probably enough. I've gone through enough comments here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm trying out some different stuff here on the channel, and let me know if you guys like this concept. Maybe I'll do this again with some other stuff that I get written on a daily basis when it comes to fight talk and all that. Also, I gotta say, I thought the comments were gonna be a lot worse, so I didn't get called racist or bigoted or anything like that, so that's a win today, because, anytime you mildly criticize Islam Makhachev, that's what I get called, so happy that that didn't take place here. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Lynch on Sports. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/Lynch on Sports. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. It helps me out big time. I'm James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.